Welcome back, my dear brothers and sisters, to episode 35 of Success and Inner Growth. Today, we continue our journey into the canyon between worlds. But this time, we experience it through the eyes of one who dared to jump. Picture this moment. A girl slowly opens her eyes. The world comes into focus gradually. First blurred shapes, then the gentle movement of leaves above her. She blinks, confused, disoriented. Where am I? The question echoes in her mind as she tries to make sense of her surroundings. She's lying on the soft earth, not the hard ground she expected. Above her, branches sway gently, dappled sunlight filtering through leaves heavy with fruit, apples and oranges, hanging like nature's ornaments. The sound reaches her ears then, the gentle murmur of water flowing nearby. A small creek winds its way through this hidden place. Its voice soft and welcoming. She tries to sit up, and immediately her body protests. A dull ache spreads through her limbs. Her muscles stiffen and sore. Her clothes are dirty, torn in places, evidence of her tumultuous journey down the canyon wall. Is this a dream? She wonders. Am I still alive? But the pain tells her otherwise. The dead don't feel their bodies aching. The dead don't hear the whispers of water, smell the sweet scent of ripe fruit hanging overhead. And then the memory comes flooding back. She remembers the moment of decision. Standing at the edge of that narrow canyon, looking across at the world of abundance. She remembers the warnings, the billboards, the voices of those behind her shouting about danger and certain death. But something deeper had called to her. Something her soul recognized, even when her mind was filled with doubt. She had run, she had lived for a glorious moment. She was flying, suspended between two worlds, between scarcity and abundance, between fear and faith. She had made it to the other side. Her hands had grasped the roots of a small tree growing at the very edge of the abundance plateau. For one shining instant, she thought she had succeeded where so many others had failed. But the roots gave way. The small piece of earth crumbled under her weight. She felt herself sliding, falling, tumbling down into the canyon she had tried to desperately cross. The last thing she remembered was the terror, the absolute certainty that this was the end, that those warnings had been right, that she was falling to her death, and then darkness. But here is what she couldn't have known from above. My dear listeners, here is what those on the scarcity slide never see, and what those on the abundance side know but keep hidden. The canyon walls aren't made of unforgiving stone. They are composed of soft, muddy earth that catches the fallen, cushions their descent, saves them from the death that seemed so certain. She looks around and sees her small rucksack beside her, the very one she had carried with her on this journey. Inside were the few clothes and some food she had packed for what she had hoped would be the beginning of her new life. What she doesn't realize yet is that this same rucksack, this luggage she carried from her old world, was just the little extra weight that made her slide down instead of climbing directly up to the other side. But now, the same weight that made her slide down provided a fresh starting point. Ha! Yes. She sits for a moment, not completely understanding what has happened or where she is. But something fundamental shifts inside her, a deep choice that defines everything that follows. She wanted to live, and she decided to be curious instead of scared, accepting what was an offer and using it at least to get clarity. Instead of panic or despair, she chooses trust. Instead of fear of the unknown, she chooses exploration. She gets up slowly, testing her body, feeling the soreness, but also the strength she remains. The creek calls to her, and the followers its voice. The water is crystal clear and surprisingly warm. She slips in carefully, letting it wash away the dirt and fear of her journey. As she bathes, she feels not just the dirty disappearing, but something deeper, the old version of herself being gently released. After her bath, she opens her rucksack and takes out her reserve clothes, clean, fresh, a new beginning. She washes the torn and dirty clothes she had been wearing, hanging them on the branches to dry in the gentle canyon breeze. Her stomach reminds her of its needs, and she looks up at the fruits. Trees above, apples and oranges hang within reach as if places there just for her. She picks carefully, gratefully, tasting sweetness she had forgotten existed. She adds some of the food she had packed, simple provisions that now taste like a feast. After eating, she rests. Not the exhausted collapse of someone defeated, but the peace of her. Someone who has chosen to embrace whatever comes next. Curiosity soon stirs within her. She must explore this place where she has landed, following a small path that winds up the canyon wall. She climbs to a viewpoint. From here, she can see more of this hidden world. And there, not far away, nestled almost into the canyon wall itself, they spot a small house. Oh, she thinks, it seems I am not alone here. The path to the house is well worn, as if many feet have walked this way before. As she approaches, she discovers a small garden surrounding the dwelling, vegetables growing in neat rows, fruit trees heavy with abundance. The garden gate stands open, welcoming. She looks around but sees no one. The silence isn't empty, it's expectant, as if the very air is holding its breath. The door of the house is also open, and there, at the entrance, she finds a simple wooden sign with words that make her heart skip. Welcome, Sarah. Here is your place to rest. Stay here and use everything until you are ready to move on. Sarah, her name. Someone knew she was coming. Inside the house, she finds everything she needs. A comfortable bed in the corner, a small oven ready for firewood, utensils for cooking and eating, a table and chairs that seem to have been waiting just for her. And there on the table, a book and pencils. She opened it with trembling hands, only to find blank pages. Empty pages that seems to be challenging her, demanding that she fill them with her thoughts, her story. This makes her a bit uneasy, and for now, she decides to put it aside. Next to the house, another small creek flows through a natural pond. Before joining the larger, rushing river below, the pond was full of fish. Trees provided shade and privacy, creating a sanctuary within a sanctuary. She hesitates for a moment. Part of her wonders if she should be here, if she deserved this gift. But then she remembers her fundamental choice. She wanted to live, and she had decided to be curious instead of scared. She decides to accept what someone, or perhaps God Himself, has offered her, at least until she got clarity about her next steps. As evening approaches, she prepares dinner from the vegetables in the garden and the provisions she finds in the house. Grateful beyond words, she closes the door of her new temporary home. She lies down on the bed, enjoying sleeping in a warm bed in a safe place without fear or interference from others. Sleep comes almost immediately, deep and peaceful. This is Eve Brownies, reminding you that every expert was once a beginner and every master was once a disaster. Your path is valid, your soul knows the way, and your next step is waiting for your courage. Thank you for listening to Success and Inner Growth. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share until the next time. Keep growing, keep believing, and keep jumping toward your dreams. Thank you so much.